오버워치 에이펙스 시즌 1 대망의 결승전, 여러분의 환호로 그 막을 올립니다. 에이펙스의 중계진들을 소개합니다. 정소림 캐스터, 김정민 해설, 황기영 해설, 글로벌 채널의 도아 몬테크리스토, 인텔 오버워치 에이펙스 시즌 1 오버워치 역사의 주역이 된 두 팀을 소개합니다. 수많은 예측과 평가를 뒤엎은 국내 최강팀 아프리카 프릭스 블루, 오버워치 세계 랭킹 1위에 빛나는 EnVyUs. 인텔 오버워치 에이펙스 시즌 1 초대 우승자의 영예를 두고 지금부터 결승전을 시작하겠습니다.
본인들 실력으로
네.
모든 평가를 그 뒤에 엎어버릴 것 같고요. 역시 강한 팀이네요. 모든 부분에서 전략 전술 힘. 아 진짜 세네요.
아프리카 프릭스 블루가 결승에 갑니다.
엔비어스의 뭔가 이 메타에 적응하는 속도, 이 경험이라는 거.
그러니까요.
제왕의 자리에 있는 팀이라는 것을 실력으로 보여주고 있는 거예요. 이렇게 이길 수가.
엔비어스가 결승에 갑니다.
I think Africa Blue is a really good team, but they still have some learning to do in terms of team play, I think. Africa Blue was a worse team than Rogue last patch, and a worse team than Kongdu this patch, at least on paper.
저희가 로그한테 2번이나 졌거든요. 그 로그를 엔비어스가 이기는 걸 보니까 아 역시 1위 팀은 1위 팀이구나.
Winning a tournament in OGN in Korea means everything to me. We've been working so hard since 1 year, and I think this is what we all want to.
저희 팀이 이겨도 리액션이 좀 적다 이런 평가들이 많은데 애초에 우승을 목표로 만든 팀이었고 우승 전의 결과까지는 일희일비하지 않는 것 같습니다.
Our team play right now is really good, and we also have lucky because this new meta, it's like you can play also double hit scan and triple time, for example. It's pretty good for us right now.
딜러 라인은 비슷하거나 저희가 이길 것 같아요.
새로 합류한 미키 선수도 굉장히 디바 플레이가 되게 날카롭게 잘하시더라고요. 그나마 걱정된다고 한다면은 미키 선수가 디바 말고 혹시 다른 강한 카드가 있을까 해서.
I think this patch Diva is buffed too many times, and then I think I'm gonna stay Diva in the final. I have a plan to chase DPS player because DPS player is the key to win the fight, and so that's why I going to their DPS player and let them play harder.
가장 신경 쓰이는 선수는 플레이 외적이긴 한데 예전부터 해리오프 선수 스트리밍 하는 것도 보고 해가지고 개인적으로 좀 좋아했었어요. 이번에 딜러로 옮기신 거 보고 좀 우수할 그릇은 아니지 이러고 있었어요.
Thank you for any fan who's supporting me and watching me, and will try my best in the final.
하던 대로 하면 이길 것 같습니다.
Now that it's like one game away, it's like everything. It's everything.
Hey guys, welcome to Kintex in Ilsan, South Korea. I'm Doa, that's Monte Cristo. We are here for the Intel Overwatch Apex Season 1 Grand Finals. Afreeca Freecs Blue taking on EnVyUs. This is going to be an awesome best of 7, isn't it?
It is, and traditionally Western teams have not had a lot of luck coming to Korea and competing. Even when we've seen them make the finals, they haven't been able to pull out that elusive win. So it would be absolutely huge here for Envy to make a statement. They are definitely the favorites coming into this match.
Well, it's been so interesting to watch them throughout the playoffs, right? Because they were the underdogs in the quarterfinals. EnVyUs was also the underdogs in the semifinals. Now here in the grand finals, they may find themselves maybe finally the above dogs. The overdogs.
The overdogs.
The overdogs, whatever you want to say.
The Overwatch overdogs.
They are favored to win this match. They're certainly looking better than Afreeca Blue coming into this. Afreeca struggling on a lot of maps that aren't called King of the Hill or Control. What do they got to do to get the win here?
I think that this first map is going to tell us a lot. Afreeca must win the control match here. Otherwise, if there is some scenario where we see the actual victory go to Envy, then we could be in for a 4-0 here.
Yeah.
Now, if Afreeca can pick up the control map, if they can pick up the 2 assault maps, then they would only have to win one out of the 4 hybrid or payload maps, which is doable for them, I think. But my prediction is either it's going to be a 4-2 Envy win or a 4-3 Afreeca win. More likely 4-2 to Envy.
It seems to be kind of going that way. I mean, but one thing I got to say about the Afreeca Freecs, though, I mean, they really showed us a lot of new stuff in the semifinals. Jin showed us that he's a great Roadhog player now. And, you know, we've been talking to Tyrong a little bit, their coach, over the last week or so. He says they do have some new plans coming into this. They've got some things in mind to maybe try to throw Envy off their game. And with what they did between the quarters and the semis, if they can do that same thing between the semis and the finals, this might end up being a little bit closer than we think.
Yeah, and that's what's so hard to predict here about Afreeca, is they did show a lot of shifts into a more patch-appropriate metagame between that quarterfinal and the semifinal match. We saw Arhan coming in with the D.Va, and maybe he's not the right choice to play D.Va on this team. I think a big question.
Not the ideal choice, I suppose.
Yeah, the question coming in is, do they have another D.Va player? Can perhaps Jin flex onto the D.Va, even though he did show us an excellent Roadhog in the semifinals? And you're going to need that too, as you see right there. Reunited, still here on your screen.
Yeah, some of those guys are actually flying back home tonight after the broadcast. So no rest for the weary, man. They're right back at it after the finals here. Some of them get to go out tomorrow, but it's been great having not just them, but all the global teams here in Korea for Season 1. It's been totally awesome. It's been really cool, too, because one of the big questions about Overwatch in general from an esports perspective was, how is Korea going to match up against the rest of the world? And I think by this time, it's looking pretty good for Korea overall.
I mean, the answer is it's pretty much even right now. Maybe a slight edge to the top Western teams, but you know, teams like Lunatic High, teams like Afreeca Blue, teams like Kongdu Uncia have certainly shown that they are capable of competing competing with some of the world's best.
And man, we've got a lot of people packed into this arena today, and you can definitely see that Overwatch is a pretty big game here in South Korea. It's pretty popular these days, you could say.
Absolutely. A lot of people turning out here at Kintex and Ilsan for the first major Overwatch final, and it's so exciting to be part of a new esport as it goes on and see how big and it has become in the last 6 months or so.
Certainly is. So in case you've been living under a rock, today's matchup is Afreeca Freecs Blue versus EnVyUs here. It's a best of 7 in our grand finals for Intel Apex Season 1. And so, yeah, a little bit bigger match than we've seen the rest of the season. All those other ones beforehand were best of 5s, moving to best of 7 now, and that changes things a little bit. Notably, though, only one control map in the best of 7.
Yeah, and that's very helpful for EnVy, whose specialty is definitely not those control maps, compared to Afreeca Freecs. And I think when we look at control, it really does show what Afreeca is exceptional at. When they are all together as 6, their team fighting, their cooldown usage around their ultimates, their ability not to overcommit with cooldowns is their biggest strength as a team. Now, when they actually have to move together as a unit from location to location, that's where it falls apart for them. They have a tendency to get strung out on payload maps, get picked off. But at the same time, they're a very different style of team than EnVyUs, where in at least the semis, EnVy played Kongdu, which was sort of a mirror in terms of their compositions.
It was. I mean, in that, if we go back to that other match, Kongdu versus Lunatakai, whoever made it through there would have been kind of in the same boat as far as who EnVy would have had to play stylistically. But yeah, you're right. Afreeca Blue, very, very different. Arhan and Recry, very different DPS players than we see in a lot of the other top teams right now. Hit scan is very big in this meta, and Arhan and Recry, they are kind of the opposite for the most part.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, when we look at actually their statistics, Arhan overwhelmingly plays Genji. They love Winston. Winston is actually their biggest, their most played tank. So if you look at it, the Genji, the Mei, very different than what we've seen EnVy practice against. And EnVy doesn't really have a Genji or a Mei player, so this is really going to be an interesting clash of styles.
It will be, and you wonder with Blue is it that they have a unique style that's working for them? It is so far, but when does it become the inability to play the meta? That's kind of the tipping point I feel like we're at now. They may have kind of reached the limit with what they can do with this type of style.
That's true, but at the same time, if they play their game, if we think about really EnVy's biggest strengths, we've of course seen the Coco-Mickey synergy running Reinhardt Diva, which they do in pretty much every situation.
Sure.
But the weakness is a lack of mobility. But I think if Afreeca comes out today and they're going to be insistent on playing either heroes that have high mobility to escape that combo, to escape that setup, if they're going to be playing the Winston, if they're going to be playing the Diva, the Genji, or the Mei, which can wall off or just ice block through those kind of combos, then it may actually trip up EnVy a little bit if they know how to play against it and they know how to play well.
It could. I mean, a good Winston player, and I'm talking like super good Winston player, might even be able to just drop that shield over the exploding Diva and save everybody. Something they might have to worry about. They've been relying a lot on getting the enemy Reinhardt out of the way. That's been Coco's job to enable Mickey to get those gigantic Diva explosions. So it's going to be a little bit different today. Should be fascinating.
Yeah, it should be really good.
Afreeca Freecs Blue. Adam. Jin. Recry. Arhan. Yes Man. Dayfly. Afreeca Freecs Blue.
And so Afreeca Freecs Blue, of course, one of the teams that were created by Woom, the former League of Legends pro, and man, does this guy know how to build teams. This is twice now in new emerging esports in Korea that this guy has put together squads that made it to the finals of the first big OGN tournament. Now, he was able to win it in League of Legends. If he can do that in Overwatch as well, what a legacy for this guy.
Yeah, huge, absolutely huge. And Arhan, many of you may know him from the Overwatch World Cup. This team is also coached by Tyrong, the Lucio player who won with Team South Korea at that same event. So a lot of names here that you guys might appreciate and might know about, and we'll see what Tyrong is dreamt up here for Afreeca Blue because they have shown a lot of adaptability match to match so far.
Yeah, they have. Some points to maybe consider improving on, too. If you look at Dayfly, their support, usually they're on a player. This guy, unfortunately, has been getting caught out a lot in a lot of different situations. They need to be very, very careful with Dayfly's positioning. He needs to improve personally there. And as a team, they need to dedicate themselves less to, lost battles. We've seen them a little bit off on that, too. But let's take a look at EnVyUs.
EnVyUs.
본인들은 이런 식으로 해야죠. 그러다 보면 이런 식의 빈곤까지 생깁니다. 타이머
Taimu. Coco. Miki. Harry Hook. Internet Hulk. Chips Hajen. EnVyUs.
And so EnVyUs, what a story for these guys in the postseason. The move that really everyone was saying was the end of their tournament in terms of losing Tailspin, having to sub in this guy named Mickey, who people had seen at the World Cup but nobody really knew a lot about. This change that should have been their downfall may have ended up putting them in the perfect place to take advantage of this meta in the best ways.
I mean, what a story, like you say.
Yeah.
They could not have predicted a better turn of events here than Mickey being the kind and caliber, perhaps one of the best D.Va players in the world, and slotting into a meta where he can just play 100% D.Va. He has not played another hero so far in these playoffs, and he's been doing great. The synergy with Coco is there. They're very good, as you noted earlier, Doa, about turning Reinhardt's and setting up the big self-destruct plays.
Yeah.
But I think that particular play is going to be harder against teams that, a team like Afreeca that likes having more mobility and is less reliant, let's say, on running the Reinhardt all the time, like we saw with Kongdu on CI.
I agree completely. I mean, stylistically, it's a fascinating matchup, but, things have worked great for them. Moving Harry Hook off of the Lucio onto some hit scan DPS. Taimu, of course, filling in a lot of gaps in terms of the Roadhog, playing whatever they need him to play, really, even things like the Hanzo. These guys really hit the meta hard in the best way. They're looking great coming into this tournament, and here is our best of 7. These are going to be the maps that are available. We'll see what we get for set number 1, and after that, the loser of the map gets to pick the next one. Looks like we're going to Nepal for our control map in this best of 7 grand final.
That's right, and it will be, if we go into any sudden deaths after a draw, it will be played on a single random point of Ilios.
That's
so
right.
Keep that in mind. That has already been selected. Nepal is the first map. This is really a must-win for Afreeca Blue. This is their home turf. They're 8 wins, 3 losses between tournaments in Shanghai and here in Seoul. And it's been Envy's weak point. They're just above 50%. But, I mean, Afreeca has looked incredibly dominant on these control maps. And a road to victory starts with them winning Nepal.
Yeah, this is their strength. This is what Afreeca Blue needs to do. Meanwhile, EnVyUs, a win here, could spell even something like a 4-0 because of their strength on Assault, on Escort. So, like you said, must win for Afreeca Freecs right off the bat. May only be our first map in this best of 7, but unless Afreeca Blue has improved a lot in some of their other map types, they can't get away with losing this one.
Absolutely. I do think, as you say, it's a must-win for Afreeca.
Certainly is. Let's do it. It's grand finals time, guys. EnVyUs versus Afreeca Blue. Let's go to Nepal and see who takes the early lead. And welcome to Nepal. those statues are floating, and that makes me kind of uncomfortable.
Does it? I would
I'd
like
be-
a levitating statue in my house.
I'd be a little bit nervous getting too close to those things, you know? I mean, what if the batteries give out?
I mean, it seems like a comfortable way to meditate. Do you think they have like meditation, levitation pads?
Probably.
Not just for the statues, but you know,
Probably.
for Omnic monks as well.
Oh, we have jump pads coming in the new map, apparently.
I'm
So
excited.
why not levitation pad? Oh, man, Oasis looks so good. I cannot wait to play on that map. But we got to cast the finals first, Monte Cristo. Afreeca Freecs Blue versus EnVyUs. Starting things off on Sanctum, it looks like. And here we go. So, EnVyUs. Ooh, Internet Hulk on the Zenyatta for the moment. He does like to play that from time to time. This is a good point for it. I'm curious to see if he's actually going to stay with it or not, though.
Yeah, so far since the swap over, he's been basically exclusively Lucio. I think he will be switching over to the Diva. There's the Lucio coming through. Recry, what is he going to pick up here? Doubt they're going to run 3 tank, 3 supports. Arhan on a Zarya. This would be very unorthodox for Afreeca Blue.
Yeah, here we go, man. I mean,
They're going to go with it.
Yeah, Tyrone was telling me they had some crazy stuff in mind. Now, in some earlier online tournaments, Arhan has played Zarya, so this isn't a first for him, but it's something we haven't seen in a long time. A fight on the high ground. We'll see if anyone can get an early hook. Jin versus Taimu in terms of the hooking, and EnVyUs already backing off just a little bit.
Recry actually goes down. Harry manages to find him in the back line, so that's going to be a big wipe here for Afreeca. They need to pull out, and there's the aggression coming in from Envy, capitalizing it, taking down Adam after they break his shield also. So that's an early win for Envy, and I'm a bit skeptical here of this composition, Doa. I mean, yes, against some of these tanks it can be good, but you have to deal with the soldier because they have no pressure on him in the back line right now. They're not running a Diva, so basically nobody can actually deal with the long-range hit scan of Harry.
Yeah, and I mean, if Jin doesn't get the hooks, how do they get kills, right? Recry might land some lucky orbs, but I mean, I feel like as much as I love Zenyatta, Recry may be a little bit wasted on this hero. EnVyUs, of course, once they get 1 kill, too, you know they're going in deep. Jin tries to get on the point. He's going to go down Harry hook. Pops attack visor, looking for a bit more now. Afreeca Freecs Blue already having to back away. And Harry Hook putting so much pressure on these guys. They're going to go in now. Looks like Taimu's in a little bit of trouble. He's going to go whole hog. Gets the nano boost as well. Arhan up against the wall, and he will be taken out. And Taimu using the rest of that to just push Afreeca Freecs Blue back again. And EnVyUs already nearing 50 control % on this point.
Yeah, Afreeca going to come in with a lot of ultimates soon, though. And Taimu doesn't get the crucial pick, and there it is. Charge. Going to help finish that one off. But man, this is not the Afreeca Blue I thought we would be coming in. This is such a low mobility, long range tank composition. Now they're known for playing dive comp, so completely the antithesis of their style that we've seen them run so far in Apex.
You know, we talked about them needing to make some changes for this match, but not on Control. Control was where they were doing the best, so this is the map type that I wanted to see them stay the same. They look so great in their earlier matches in this tournament, but they're trying to swap things off right off the bat, and it is not going well at all.
Well, see, the problem, Doa, is that they're going to lose these shield battles.
Power Shatter comes in. Recry pops that Transcendence, trying to keep Blue alive. Kills coming in. Yes, man gets one on Chips High, and meanwhile, Adam swinging away with that nano boost, looking for a bit more, and this is finally the fight that Afreeca Freecs Blue is looking for, but it's already 90% for EnVyUs. They need to get on the point. They're going to cap it, but man, they've got a long way to go if they want to win Sanctum.
Yeah, they do, and a lot of big ults coming up soon onto Envy. They are going to be able to match the sound barriers, but as I was saying, Envy, they just, with the Soldier and the Roadhog combo, they can shred the Reinhardt shield faster, which means they get more picks.
Oh, Dayfly got a pick on the Chips High in there. Gets 2. Man, Dayfly on that Ana. We talked about his issues positioning-wise in the past, but great start for him on that hero anyway. And Blue has EnVyUs bottled up now. On Sanctum, you really can kind of make it tough for the team to come back on offense, but EnVyUs, they got a lot else to work with.
What I will say about Afreeca's comp is now that they're in this forward position, they're not going to have to worry as much about Harry, but he's going to find that flank and try and get around to the opposite side. But now he's got the opposite side of the point, so great positioning from Harry.
At Recry, okay, gets low before the sound barrier comes in. They're going to try to get a bit more. Oh, Mickey gets 2 with the self-destruct. Big Diva explosion on the side of EnVyUs. It's fairly even fight so far, though. EnVyUs did lose one. They need a bit more. Arhan jumps on the point, gets hooked, gets taken out by Arhan as well. And EnVyUs, they're up to 99% now. Looks like they might be able to get this one back.
Nano boosted the Lucio. Dayfly nano boosted man, just as a precautionary measure to keep control of the point.
Hey, well, it kept him healthy, kept him in the game. They got the point back.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. They managed to grab that one. So a bit of desperation there. Adam's going to come back, though, with this Earth Shatter. Coco's got one too, but they're going to have a little bit of trouble, I think, just pushing through this very narrow choke point here.
So the thing here is Harry Hook, with all of the healing on blue right now, is going to have a hard time to make that poke that Soldier does so well work. You're going to need to land those rockets. There's a big pushback at him. On the Reinhardt, drops the Earth Shatter. EnVyUs has to back away. There's a whole hog to keep blue off. Meanwhile, kills come in on each side. Harry Hook looking for a bit more. He's got the tac visor now. And they're going to be able to zone them out. Maybe EnVyUs can take back the point. They've got that control meter about 2/3 of the way up. Now about 3/4. They've nearly got it. There we go. The meter is going down. Overtime for EnVyUs to maybe take this point. It's 80% for blue now. Transcendence coming in. Recry just trying to stay on the point for a bit longer. But Harry Hook, what a great position over top of the point. Shouldn't have any trouble at all taking this. And now overtime running out. Looks like EnVyUs is going to take the first point here on Nepal.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge, Doa. I just don't agree with Afreeca's Blues composition at all. Yes, if you can get forward and take the point, it works well, but thanks to some great flanks by Harry Hook, he opened up the map. And so much about the current meta, what we understand about it is that with the buffs to the soldier damage and with the prevalence of Roadhog, it's in Reinhardt battles about who can break the Reinhardt shield first, because so much is predicated on who can get the first Roadhog hook in, who can get that pick. And when your Reinhardt shield goes down, you just get more opportunities to let the enemy team get those crucial hooks.
Yeah.
And we kept seeing them get picked off. So really weird decision by Afreeca. They're going to change it up now. It's Genji Mei. I like this much better.
I agree completely. This is a little bit more of what we've come to expect from Afreeca Blue. And this has been their bread and butter. They've got, Arhan on the Genji. Recry playing that Mei. Plays a lot of it lately. There's the Fire Strike reflected right off the bat. EnVyUs knows exactly what they're up against.
Great
Can
split.
they win it? There's a hook. Brings Adam in right away. He's got to be a bit careful, but the Biotic Grenade keeps him healthy. Recry gets the pick on the Chips High, and that's a great start for Blue. And this is more the control team we've been expecting. Arhan takes apart Taimu, and things off to a good start for Blue.
And that's great for them. And finally, they're back to their specialty. Recry has played more Mei than any other hero so far in this tournament.
Yeah.
That's what we want to see, is those great Mei walls, those good splits. And this also is what EnVyUs is not used to playing against. They haven't been facing great Genjis or great Mei players recently. So this should throw them for a loop. And now EnVy, are they going to make any adaptations? So far, no. Sticking with what worked for them last round.
Well, they don't have a bad composition or anything like that. I mean, they can still win with this. They just need to find those fights. So far, so good actually. Coco and Hulk picking one up, but now Harry Hook in a little bit of trouble. Arhan looking for some kills there. Has to back away a bit. They've got Jin and Yes Man to keep him healthy for the moment. Shields in the heels. Harry Hook on the point right now as EnVyUs tries to take it back. Control meter building. They get the point. They swap it somehow. Harry Hook has a tac visor now too, so they might be able to hold this for a little while.
Yeah, nice job retaking that point there, and a great example of that 1v1. You can see Harry maintaining his composure, waiting for his allies just to come and back him up in that 1v1. Throws down the biotic field, doesn't shoot during the reflect. Pretty easy stuff, but having his teammates right there behind him made it so Arhan really couldn't re-engage, and he was just suffering for heals down at about 20%, and that's a great hook, but...
Oh, Recry, though, into the edge of the wall, and Taimu can't quite get a clean left click on him. Meanwhile, Blue on the point. They're trying to build that control meter up again. They've nearly got it. They flip the point again. EnVyUs has to fight, but Arhan's got the nano blade out. Takes out Chips High and looking for a bit more.
Great
Sound barrier, not too much protection at this point. Arhan gets two, trying to whittle down the mech of Mickey right now. And with that Earth Shatter, looks like they'll be able to get the rest of EnVyUs right where they want them. But no, EnVyUs somehow staying on the point, surviving long enough to flip it back again.
Yeah, Taimu really showing up there, getting the crucial picks that they needed in order to win out on that fight. Later sound barrier there by Internet Hulk allowed them to survive just long enough, even though Arhan was doing work in the back lines. We didn't see Afreeca's support survive quite long enough, and Recry threw down the Blizzard there, so that's a pretty big ultimate that EnVy just wasted.
Yeah, well, speaking of ultimates, Taimu using that whole hog, just trying to push Blue off of the point, buy some more time. That control meter, though, almost all the way up. The point goes back again. What a back and forth village point here we have on Nepal. There's a Graviton Sergio. Jin trying to set something up for his team. Arhan desperately trying to build that Dragon Blade. Nearly has it now. Will he use it? I don't know if this is quite the time. He's kind of finds himself behind enemy lines here. Looks for a Harry Hook. Pulls out the Dragon Blade anyway, but doesn't get any kills with it, though. Ooh, that was not really what Arhan was looking for, and he gets taken out by Mickey in the end. That hurts.
Yeah, that was a huge waste of an ultimate, so really nice job there. EnVy pulling a lot of Afreeca's ults out. Now they are still ticking up at 80% right now. Nobody has an ultimate at the current time, but EnVy looking to flip this one back. Not quite enough. May now in the point. Nice wall, keeping a lot of the members of EnVy on the outside.
Yeah, Blue needs to get back on there, and they're going to use the Blizzard to do it. They're going to send in Adam. He's right there. Recry landing those right clicks. EnVyUs wasn't quite able to flip the point. Afreeca Freecs getting very, very close as Taimu goes down. 98, 90, oh, 98, sticking there for the moment. Recry with the ice block, but he doesn't get any healing because of the biotic grenade. Oh,
Chips,
man, they flip
Chips
it back.
gets 2 huge kills right there, and now EnVy, huge ult advantage. Although we are seeing, of course, Adam and Jin getting close. Recry not with a Blizzard for a while. He's got enough time to build it right back up again, but EnVy's looking at a 6 ult defense right here, just out skirmishing the members, and mostly it was Chips and Harry in that last fight doing the work.
Yeah, Taimu waits for that hook cooldown, 2 more seconds, and he's got it again. If he can get a pick here, that could mean the win for the map. Harry Hook coming around the side. He's got the nano visor out. Recry. Oh, he drops the wall. Great wall from Recry. Completely zones out Harry Hook throughout the nano boost and the ultimate. Mickey throws in the diva ult. 91% for EnVy as it continues to build. Great right click onto Dayfly. Gets one for Taimu. 96% for EnVyUs. So close. If they can win this point, they can take Nepal. It's overtime now, 99-98, and Blue does not have many members remaining. There goes overtime, and EnVyUs will 2-0 Nepal. That's not the start we expected here.
No, not at all, Doa, but man, they just dumped all their ults so methodically in that last fight, one by one by one. Even though they couldn't pick anything up with the nano boost and the tac visor, it didn't really matter because they had such a huge, tremendous ult advantage at the start of that fight that they could afford to waste a couple of them right there. Yeah. Sound barrier looked like it was a little bit late there from Afreeca, only used for the Lucio to try and contest that point at the very end. But man, Afreeca losing control is so huge because this could easily turn into an EnVy 4-0 now because we're going to switch into a couple of maps where Afreeca is quite weak.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Monte Cristo. I mean, that's a disaster for Afreeca Freecs Blue. I mean, control maps were their bread and butter. They were 8-3 on control maps coming into this one. Their record on everything else, not looking so good lately.
I mean, if you combine their records on Escort and Hybrid maps, they're actually below 50%.
Ugh.
So, Escort, they're 3-4. Hybrid, they're 4-4. And if we look at EnVy's record, stretching, of course, different team now, but stretching back to the Overwatch Open, they're 8-3 on Escort, 12-4 with a tie also on Hybrid. So it's going to be rough here from Afreeca. They're going to have to pick up some maps on some game modes that they do not excel at traditionally.
Certainly will. Well, we'll see how the next map is going to be. A 1-0 lead, though, for EnVyUs right now. Great start. See what they can do later.
Coming up next, Afreeca Freecs Blue, EnVyUs.
석양해진다 빵빵빵 라이브 모드 잔자가 자라 홍드랑장 디기디기디기 자라 자라 잔자라 자라 자라드 헤이 나는 자유로운 영어 박하세 K 목태자 그 이름 맥크리 자만 보면 신물이 나와 그래도 너무된다 하니 저 잠시 안심했는데 좌클릭 섬광난사 속수무책 요 녀석 길런지 스나이펀지 먼 거리에서 헤드로 꽂혀와요. 자, 다 같이 석양이 진다. 야, 석양이 진다. 내가 석양이란데 석양이 진다. 석양이 진다. 게임이 죽여준다네. 억울해도 소용없어. 넌 이미 죽어있으니 석양이 진다. 에이! 잔자가다라 당 디리리리리 디리리리리리리 자라 잔자라자라 잔자. 예! 석양아! 오늘도 어딘가에 석양이 지고 있겠지. 아, 저놈 진짜 석양충 아닌가요? 우와. 자, 한 번 더! 석양이 진다. 겁나게 진다. 내가 석양이란데 석양이 진다. 길다를 친다. 저놈 혹시 에이맹 아닌가. 억울해도 소용없어. 넌 이미 죽어있으니 석양이 진다. 억울해도 소용없어. 넌 이미 죽어있으니 석양이 진다. 자, 퓨어틴송 갑니다. 헤이! 학교에서 키웠습니다. 고맙습니다. 땡큐.
노력은 선수를 만들고 코어 i7 프로세서는 멈추지 않는 파워를 드립니다. 강력한 코어로 더 강력하게.
선수는 그냥 탄생하지 않습니다. 코어로부터 만들어지는 것이죠. 강력한 코어, 집중력을 가진 코어, 불가능을 가능으로 만드는 코어, 무엇이든 해내고 마는 코어, 차이를 만들고 승리를 가져다주며 세상을 놀라게 하는 코어. 노력은 선수를 만들고 코어 i7 프로세서는 멈추지 않는 파워를 드립니다. 강력한 코어로 더 강력하게.
Touching base is not enough for teamwork.
나 좀 봐주라고.
好了，我可过呀。
I'm picking Harry because it's going to be a clash of the Lucios, and who loses is going to play Lucia in the finals.
So I'm gonna win for sure.
Yeah.
Because Hart is worst. Nice. Oh, I pick Internet Home. It's easy because he's the worst player.
What? Had to be like in the top?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to put it on
yeah.
top.
Yellow.
This will be a fast game. Nice hurry. Nice hurry. Don't rip.
I'm in your team.
I know. No pressure.
Oh man. 50 do win.
I'm going to play soldier in the finals.
You do it, you win, Harry.
You want us to lose?
Real rip.
Watch out.
Actually, he gets that one, but he cannot do anything.
Actually. Cannot do anything actually.
Guys.
Guys, hey guys, come on.
Harry, you can do it. You can do it.
German engineering, Harry.
Don't lose. It's gonna be hard because Harry's so Harry's so small. He's gonna like if Hawk gets the next piece, there's no way he can reach.
Silence.
Speed buff in the finals.
Stadium sucks, awesome. Stadium sucks, awesome. Not really sure how this is gonna work.
That's good. That's good.
Okay, I'm gonna make it easy. For now, at least.
Oh,
Stop.
yes. No. Cocker. Okay, bring it. He's doing it.
Be careful, Harry.
If the top fall, you fall.
Next.
I know you can do it, Hulk. I believe in you.
I believe in you.
Oh my god.
You can do it. Come on.
Meow.
Easiest game of my life. I tried so hard. Rage quit. Let's go. Kali bali boo.
So you first.
Okay.
Easy.
He's shaking. How does he get it so easily? That's.
Nice.
Nice.
Fighting.
It's already like this.
Yeah, yeah.
There's like a lot more. If I take this, like. Ooh. Why? Why? Why you do that? Easy. Fighting.
I want this. I want this one.
Hey. Easy game.
It's a task, dude. It's just a task.
GG, noob.
My team lost, but I don't worry about it because I just want to make my team happier. Happy.
And welcome back, guys, to the Intel Overwatch Apex Season 1 Grand Finals with Doe and Monte Cristo. And, you know, Jenga's really where the hype is at. Although we got to teach those guys how to actually play Jenga.
Yeah,
I don't think that's how you do it.
That's not how you play Jenga. I mean, I know they spend all their days playing Overwatch, so maybe they don't know how to play other games,
apparently.
but that is definitely not how you play Jenga.
Well, I think at least we know that EnVyUs knows how to play control maps well. And Afreeca Blue, man, a team that was so good on control, totally... Can I say botching? Is that too harsh? They botched map one. That's really what it seemed like. It was not the blue we'd come to expect. The comp was weird. It didn't work out. They lost that map 2-0.
I just don't know what they were thinking on the first point, Joe. Like, that's the most confusing thing to me. Sanctum, the 3-tank, 3-support, it just doesn't work with the kind of style that EnVy plays. And EnVy didn't have to do anything differently. They just played their bread and butter, which has gotten them all the way to the finals. And we saw in the interviews beforehand, Afreeca saying, we are going to play our style. Well, I'm sorry, that was not Afreeca's style. That was definitely not Afreeca's style. So hopefully they're going to pick Hollywood. I do think this is their best map when it comes to escort and payload. So if they're going to make a win happen, it's going to have to be here because otherwise we seriously are considering like 4-0 territory for EnVy.
Yeah, well, a bizarre start for Afreeca Blue, but a great start for Team EnVyUs. Now we'll see if they can keep it rolling on Afreeca, or on Hollywood, rather.
Numbani's in Africa. Hollywood
Yeah,
is in California.
Why'd they have to name their company that? I don't know. Afreeca Blue looking sullen in the booth right now, but it's a best of 7. A lot of games yet, a lot of maps yet. We'll see if they can get the momentum going here on our second map of the match. Let's go to Hollywood and see if Afreeca Blue can tie up this series, or if EnVyUs will jump out to a 2-0 lead here at the Intel Overwatch Apex Season 1 Grand Finals. It's going to be sick. Don't go anywhere, guys. We are going into the game. Map 2 coming at you right now.
I get it.
Raise your hands up to the speakers. You are here to entertain us.
All right, welcome to Hollywood. And I got to say, we saw in that little piece during the break, Mickey saying, I just want to make my team happy. And I have to say, the mood inside the booth when you see these guys, since Mickey joined the team, has been like night and day. We never saw them like laughing and really having an awesome time before that, but made a big difference. And look at this. Speaking of a big difference, Internet Hulk setting up the turrets on Symmetra. What? Symmetra pre-update in 2016? It's happening, man.
Hulk traditionally in other tournaments has played the Symmetra on certain maps.
Yeah.
He has played it on Dorado and Hollywood previously, so it's not outside of the realm of possibility. And speaking of Recry, at least initially going to be on the Hanzo here, one of Recry's best heroes coming through. And Arhan may be going back to the Pharah, so pretty big mix-up coming through from Afreeca, but they don't have that much dive pressure. I thought that maybe Jin would be running Zarya with his composition instead, because if you have Arhan and Adam heading into the backline with the Zarya bubble, you can open up space for the Hanzo. There it goes. Okay, he's going to switch over.
Don't throw away your Shurikens, man. You're going to need those.
It's all right. He's got plenty more in his arm. He's got like a 3D printer in there, Doa.
He can make as many as he needs. Well, here we go, guys. Big biotic grenade right off the bat for a bit of poke from EnVyUs, but Internet Hulk and the Symmetric going to be awesome to see if it works out. And they're going to be able to see that Genji coming around the side. Whoa! Internet Hulk actually losing a turret right off the bat there. Blocks the hook coming in. Taimu Arhan now backing away, and Recry looking for those picks on the Hanzo. Mickey runs up to the high ground for just a moment.
Actually, to get in the back line there, Doa. So Adam and Dayfly going to go down immediately. Now, we did see the switch over from Adam, and that's the confusion for me. Like, either you're going to run the Roadhog with the Reinhardt, or you're going to try and do something different, like run the Zarya with the Winston. Like, they sort of have a mixed message coming through with Afreeca's composition, and Harry Hook just going to massively split spawn them. Arhan going down at the end of that fight, so big early win, and Chips has about a 50% ult advantage on Dayfly right now, so early nano boost going to be there for Envy.
Well, just great tracking with Harry Hook on the 76 air, and Afreeca Blue going to give it another try here. Internet Hulk, though, getting really close to having that teleporter up, and once it is up, it's really hard to dislodge a team defensively from Hollywood. A nice sleep dart onto Recry in security there. Arhan comes around from the side. They do have Coco pretty low, but Arhan taken out. Harry Hook has the attack visor, has the nano boost now, doesn't even need the ultimate, just uses it, and strong hold from EnVyUs so far. And if Afreeca Blue can't get anything going on Hollywood, man, I think this might end up being a much quicker finals than we expected.
The TP's down, Doa, so now they're going to have to figure out where Internet Hulk placed that and try and eliminate it before attacking. As you said, Tac Visor now up for Harry Hook. Arhan has the Dragon Blade, but this has to work. They have to get the Nano Blade functional, and now they've got to use it in conjunction here with that Zarya. Recry has switched over to the Roadhog.
Yeah, Adam getting low right off the bat already. Drops the biotic field there. Harry Hook backing away. Doesn't get a lot of healing. Finally getting some, and Arhan goes down. Man, Harry Hook finding him yet again. Taimu got the hook onto Adam and finish him off. And they know where the teleporter is from Internet Hulk. It's the place that every Symmetra puts it. It's a little bit back, kind of behind the point, behind those trees, hidden away. Tough for anybody to get to. Maybe Arhan can make it back there at some point, but they should know where it is. Nano Boost coming in. He's going to pull out the Dragon Blade, get up on the high ground there. Mickey drops the Diva ultimate. Doesn't find any kills with it, though. And Arhan maybe finally gaining a Freeca Blue some traction here. Kills coming in for the rest of the team. They do lose Arhan. They do get him. He gets two. He takes out Yes Man as well. Jin coming in from the side. He's got that Graviton Surge, but nowhere really to use it. Internet Hulk finally does. No, he's still alive. That was one of his turrets that went down. Jin staying on the point for the moment, and Afreeca Blue continues to push. Pretty even fight, but it looks like EnVyUs may have to give this one up. It all depends on how many people they can get back with the teleporter. Taimu defending it, just sitting back there, making sure that teleporter stays up for the moment. And so far, so good. They finally do give it up, as I think they used up all the charges there. Internet Hulk over on the
He's going to get his suit
Lucio
back.
now.
Ooh, so close. Gets it up during his death animation. Absolutely huge. Coco going to zip back into the point now, but only 2 members remain. The rest are coming back in. Dayfly trying to shoot those heal darts outside. Now the rest of Afreeca Blue is going to join. They should be able to take this fight.
EnVyUs just trying to hold on, but it may be too little too late as Chipsian goes down. And again, it's on the back of Arhan and that Dragon Blade with a bit of help from the Nano Boost that helped them get this far on the point. Now the control meter a little over halfway up. EnVyUs, so not giving it up too easily. Taimu's been so annoying on this Roadhog, but it looks like they'll finally take him down. Internet Hulk trying to stay alive as long as he can on the Lucio. And I think he's back again as a mini diva. They're finally going to give it up, I think. Yeah, Blue going to get this payload moving.
Let's talk about Chips, because Chips Hyan was an absolute god on the defense of that point. Consistently hitting the biotic grenades to deny the healing on Afreeca Blue, clutch sleep darts, everything going his way, quicker by a long shot on those on the ults, getting the nano boost up and the percentage rolling. So absolutely wonderful defense from Chips Hyan there. Now they're going to be pushing through this streets phase, but only 2 minutes to go. That is not a long time for a lengthy stretch of road.
Yeah, and EnVyUs got time to take up that high ground defense, which is usually pretty effective. It looks like Afreeca Blue's just going to try to stack up on the payload and push that way, but they got a lot to worry about. Mickey with the sleep dart, but he gets woken up immediately. He's going to get the nano boost as well. They're going to use the Graviton Surge. Kills coming in, though. Arhan grabs 3, and Mickey not able to do quite enough on that Diva. to mitigate the damage that Arhan's been able to accomplish here. And that payload's going to move.
Yeah, but they committed a lot to that. Great combo, but yes, man, Arhan, Jin, and Dayfly dumping their ults into that push. And they're going to have to fight again with very little time remaining as they move towards the studio stage and through the streets. Meanwhile, EnVy, they've got that deadly combo that they've been so efficient in using, the Reinhardt and the D.Va ults in conjunction. So Adam, we got to watch his shield here and see how long he can keep it up. There's the D.Va ult coming through, self-destruct.
He gets yes, man, and that's pretty important. Now the Earthshatter actually coming in from blue to try to counter that one. Arhan picks up one. Adam waiting in there, trying to go after Internet Hulk, who drops the sound barrier. He advancing here.
All right, they were ready for it. And
yeah,
Afreeca did keep a good count on the ultimates coming through from EnVy, so only one kill goes down to the combo. Great counter Earthshatter as well from Adam, and Arhan taking out Harry Hook, crucial in this battle, but nice.
Wow. I thought Coco was in trouble there, but he got the kill on Arhan in the end anyway. Harry Hook decides not to go after Jin there. Instead, pops attack visor and goes crazy on Afreeca Blue. This push is over, and I don't know, they may not have even needed to use attack visor there. Could have probably saved that one.
They probably could have, and Dayfly probably could have saved his nano boost there in a losing fight, but they're, especially because now they could have had that nano boost and the Dragon Blade back up again for another combo here from Afreeca.
Yeah.
Arhan is going to have to do insane work. Watch and see if he gets the right bubbles from Jin, because that's going to be crucial to their ability to actually push this payload through. They have 15 seconds to make something happen.
Yep.
Oh, so dangerous.
Loses half his health right there. Has to back off and get some heals. Now the Dragon Blade.
He's got to
do
Harry.
work, man. He's going after Harry Hook right now. Harry Hook sprinting to safety, though. He lives. Whoa, barely outrunning the Genji. Goes down in the end, but that Dragon Blade got them nothing. Blue back on the payload again, but we're into overtime, and EnVyUs trying to push back. Internet Hulk does go down, though, so for now, the payload moving in Afreeca Blue's favor.
Yeah, I wish we could have seen what had happened to the rest of EnVy during that little chase. They did remove Harry Hook from the fight. Taimu going to look for a hook right. He's going to fight
there's
Dayfly.
one. Taimu gets one, and there's a whole hog pushing Afreeca Blue back again. They want to take this payload out right here, right now. Adam very low. Nice right click from Taimu right into another one. And Taimu, the hero on this Roadhog right now, and they will hold 1 point for Afreeca Blue.
What a great combination of Chips and Taimu in that last fight.
Yeah.
Having that nano boost up, Taimu was just hiding. He knew the rest of his team had been wiped. He fled around the backside, rode the elevator up, and then makes that absolutely huge play. Now, if he's nano boosted, he can't actually be killed very quickly, of course, with a 50% damage reduction. So if he drops and uses that whole hog, he just pushes everybody right off the payload during overtime and caps. Yeah. So really nice setup. And that's been the power of EnVy. Intelligent shot calling from their players, very adaptive in the way that they deal with these situations. So a creative way to actually prevent Afreeca at the last second from moving into the studio stage. And now it's going to be a tall order for Afreeca Blue. They are going to have to hold super hard on point one, or they are going to have a real job in front of them to stop EnVy from just pushing through the second point.
Yeah, it can be done. Recry is a great made player. They've been very strong defensively on some of these maps in the past. If you think about what they've done on other maps that are more point-oriented, like Volskaya or something like that. So where Hollywood is a hybrid map, Blue, may do okay here. But if they lose point A, I think EnVyUs is going to have no trouble at all pushing it the rest of the way. That payload doesn't need to go very far.
I mean, if they can put it together a spirited defense and have, only a minute and a half, 2 minutes left, there is a possibility that they could prevent EnVy from pushing that far to the point.
Yeah.
Now, Arhan is going to go back onto the D.Va. He was their primary D.Va player in the semifinal match. Recry, I think that May is smart here. They are going for ultimate tankiness. Very difficult to pick off members of Afreeca Blue with Roadhog hooks. Mickey... He's going to shoot some arrows. He will switch off and back over to the D.Va. So EnVy just sticking with the composition that has gotten them this far into this tournament.
That's right. So Mickey, of course.
He's just going to Sonic Arrow and then swap.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. He used a cooldown pretty soon before. So yeah, he doesn't actually get to do it. Back on the D.Va again right away. And they're going to walk in. So yeah, Afreeca Blue trying not to get picked off. Taimu looking for that hook. Crouching Roadhog and hidden hook. Oh, he doesn't get anybody though. There's a May wall. Splits up EnVyUs. A little bit of a worrisome fashion. They're going to have to take this first fight. There's a hook for Jin onto Mickey. He's going to go down though. Harry Hook grabs a kill there though. Dayfly does take down the Reaper. And EnVyUs going to have to back away for the moment. Getting put into a corner here. And Recry just jumping right in. Oh, he'll be taken up at Chips High though. And Arhan on the D.Va has to retreat. They've got to get back to this point. And that's a long run back. They've lost 3 people already. EnVyUs with everybody up. This is looking kind of grim for Blue right off the bat. That control meter is building fast.
And Afreeca pushed forward, Doa. When the biotic grenade from Chips was still up, he threw it into the mass of them as they advanced, cut off the healing, and now we're in this situation right now. There is a nano boost at D.Va. Arhan has to be huge right now.
And that was a very fast nano boost. Arhan didn't get a lot out of it, though. In fact, Coco managed to pick himself up and kills the Blizzard used by Blue as well, but no follow-up on it, and they're going to have to give up point A. The payload already moving, Harry Hook already advancing.
Why
would
he use the self-destruct?
I do not know, man. That was not advised.
Wow, that's really bad right there to throw that away unless he's going to swap off. Okay.
It's a bad day for Reaper, guys. Wow, he actually gets out. Now D.Va versus D.Va. We've all played this 1v1. Who's going to hold down left click faster? Oh, it's like a game of chicken when it's D.Va versus D.Va. Arhan winning that round, though.
Arhan
and
was
EnVyUs
getting
pushing
healed,
the
to be
payload.
fair.
Yeah, that is true. And I mean, Mickey knows it's better to just stick on that payload. Have that block up just in case projectiles come in. Harry Hook does have the ultimate now on that Reaper available. Mickey pops his ultimate, doesn't get any kills with it. They just need the zone. They just need to keep that payload moving.
Oh man, this is so bad. Recry switching to the 76 now that they're not on the point defense any longer.
Yep.
I mean, so far, Doa, I think you have to look at Chips as potentially an MVP of this finals because his play on this Ana has been insane.
Absolutely, man. He has set up so many good plays for his teammates to capitalize on. They have capitalized on it quite nicely. Arhan backing away now on that D.Va, and Afreeca Blue looking at a very serious possibility of going down 0-2 in the series. 4 minutes for EnVyUs to push this, not even the rest of the way through this point. As a hook on to Mickey, immediately jets his way out of there. Sound barrier used by Afreeca Blue. Counter sound barrier from EnVyUs as Recry goes in with the tac visor, gets the kill on the Internet Hulk, but not much else. No, I spoke too soon. Mickey goes down before Recry finally does. Harry Hook has to back away for the moment, and Blue winning this fight. They bought themselves some time.
Yeah, they didn't have to use their nano boost either, so at least they're going to have that in their pocket for the next fight. Also, great split spawning here onto the members of Envy. So a little bit of breathing room, but it doesn't mean a whole lot, Doa, when there's still 3.5 minutes left to go in this game. It's 50 meters in 3.5 minutes, so a truly epic hold for Afreeca will be necessary if they want to take a victory here.
Well, the split spawn is nice. You know, it did cause EnVyUs to take a long time in resetting. Jin gonna hop down, but take a lot of his life and damage as he does it. Harry Hook on that Soldier 76, swapped off from McCree now. Ooh, a lot of damage actually onto the opposing Roadhog.
This guy's tracking is nuts. I mean, you watch Harry play from his perspective, and the amount of, look how smooth he is on those shots. Amazing.
It really is, man. Jin low already, not gonna survive too long. He does get the kill on the Mickey before he gets taken out by Taimu. That payload's still moving though. A little over 2 minutes, nearly 3 minutes actually remaining. Earthshatter did go down. Coco tried to use it, but didn't end up getting anybody prone enough to capitalize on right now. Recry nearly at the tactical visor for his soldier as well, and that's not going to get anything. Arhan still has his ultimate for his D.Va. Oh no, he just used it. Never mind. Harry Hook. Uh-oh, here we go. Tac visor's got the nano boots as well. They need to get that right out of the way. There goes Yes Man. There goes Jin. Adam's shield is gone. He's got the nano boost, but no way to use it offensively right now. And the payload is moving. They're going to get it there. Adam with a last-ditch effort, but it's not enough. And Recry can't get there in time. EnVyUs will go up 2-0 in this finals.
Does Harry Hook even need a tac visor, Doa?
I don't think so.
I think
he does.
I think that tac visor is only useful for Harry Hook to reload instantly. I think that's its main purpose for a player who can hit that many headshots and be that consistent.
Yeah.
Just wonderful to watch him play.
Well, this has really been one of the hidden benefits of having to make those roster swaps that EnVyUs have had to do. They've unleashed Harry Hook now as this, godly hit scan DPS player, and he has done wonders for this team.
Yeah, amazing to watch him play. And Envy, they take another map. This one was selected by Afreeca. So now I think Afreeca's only chance to take a map in this finals is going to be whether they can take Anubis. I assume they're going to pick Anubis.
You would think so.
But man, I don't know what's happening to them in that last defense. Chip certainly showed up, but they looked reckless on that engage, and they were punished just by a retreating Envy who was patient waiting for the biotic grenade, and they still had the heals coming through. So they got the members of Afreeca got a little bit too far in front.
Coming into this best of 7, it was difficult to gauge the strengths of the teams against each other because we were looking at the two sides of the brackets in the playoffs, and the side that Afreeca Blue was on did look like the weaker side of the bracket. We weren't seeing his coordinated play. Things didn't look as clean on that side. And so we thought, well, you know, maybe that's going to come into, it's going to make an impact in the finals. And I think it is. So far, EnVyUs just completely outclassing Afreeca Blue.
I just disagree with some of the compositions that we've seen Afreeca Blue run. Like, this is a Winston team, and they're running the Reinhardt. And if you want to run Zarya, Winston, Genji, go ahead. You know, do that. But if you're going to run the Reinhardt, then what we saw them do later, which is switch over to the Roadhog. Like, there's a huge lack of synergy with some of the compositions that they're running, particularly in this meta, and they're making it easy. They picked Volskaya. I think that's a big mistake.
All right, well, Volskaya Industries will be our third map here in this grand finals of OGN Apex Season 1. And, you know, to me, the issue is that Adam can't really play D.Va, so they need to have Arhan on the D.Va, so they can't have the D.Va and the Genji in the same game. And that really kind of makes it tough if you're going to run, you know, something like Winston, D.Va, Genji. That's a great dive comp, but they can't do it because Arhan has to play two of those heroes.
I mean, to be fair, Jin can also play D.Va and has in this tournament.
Sure,
but we need to see it. We need to see it.
He's looked better than those other two. So, hero pool-wise, it does seem like Blue is running into some struggles here in the new meta.
Yeah, Volskaya, this is actually, I think, you know, talking to Envy, they feel very comfortable on Volskaya right now, and they've improved their assault record since they brought on Mickey.
Yeah, they have. Well, guys, it is time to go into map number 3. Afreeca Blue looking at some dire straits here. They need to get something going here. A win here would at least keep the tournament going for them. Otherwise, they're going to find themselves one loss away from a 4-0. EnVyUs wants to put themselves one win away from a 4-0 victory here in this grand finals. Let's get in the game and see who takes it.
I get it. Raise your hands up to the speakers. You are here to entertain us.
All right, here we go. Welcome to Volskaya Industries, the place where they make giant robots. See, you know, I mean, Korea has small robots. That's cool, but Russia has giant robots, and that's more cool.
I mean, Japan has tons of giant robots, too, if I'm to believe anime. So.
Well, I mean, I'm just talking about Overwatch right now, though, you know?
How do we know that Japan doesn't have giant robots?
Haven't seen them yet. We've only seen a tiny half robot, half man.
Maybe like 2% man, 98% robot.
That's just true.
But in any case, Afreeca Blue, this is the composition, or something similar to it that I wish we would have seen previously. Like, go with your dive composition if you can. Try and run Jid on either the Zarya or the D.Va. Envy, pretty classic. They're just going to run the same thing. Like, who can blame them? This has continued to work for Envy.
Oh, it's good. Wow.
Subside.
No kidding. Yeah, that was a nice grenade.
Just rename him Steph Curry after that shot.
I guess so. Yeah, he's hitting the threes, man.
Hitting all the threes.
Yeah.
Hit a nice three on Hollywood to get 12% of his ult right out of the doors. So knows some of those honor locations where you can hit those long-range biotic grenades for some early ult charge.
There too. Here comes Arhan on the Genji now. Afreeca Blue on the offense. And even though their team name is blue, their color is red. So don't get confused, because I know I will.
All right, Recry actually going to be going for the Reaper here. Not something that we've seen from Afreeca really that recently.
Yeah.
So can they get a flank off? Meanwhile, Envy's going to see this coming in and just reposition onto the high ground.
All right, they're going to send Adam up on the high ground, but not able to get the disruption they were hoping for. And Arhan taken out right away. Chips high in, man. He hits anything moving through the air with no problem at all. Recry getting some real good damage onto Coco here. He has to make it out, though. And that's tough to do. Taimu, nice hook onto Jin. Jin's going to get taken out. Taimu barely living through that one. Great start for EnVyUs.
I like the adjustment we saw from EnVyUs. They move all the way to the far side here, away from any possible Reaper flanks that could be coming in. And now they're just going to mix it up. Just send everybody all the way back over. Protect their hooks. Trust Taimu to get some of that initial damage in. And Recry now going to be heading over to the McCree, so not liking what he sees. And wow, Arhan has to be so careful right here.
Well, he's a ninja.
All right, he knows the hook's down.
Yeah, that's right. Has to back off, though. Immediately, Mickey comes in. There's the reflect, but Arhan needs to get out of there. Mission unsuccessful, man.
Well, he doesn't have any backup. Like, you need to be able to dive together or at least be in line of sight for his Zarya shield. So I'm not sure exactly what he thought he was going to be accomplishing. Here we go. Adam on the Winston is going to get nano boosted.
Yeah, now he's got the nano boost. This is something that EnVyUs really needs to worry about. He gets hooked, though, by Taimu. Still feeling healthy, though. Goes after Chipsian. Chipsian taken down, and that may be what they needed to get things rolling. But 2 kills already. There's another hook onto Jin. And, well, they all decided to skip point A and start heading for point B. And EnVyUs with that sound barrier able to outlast him and take him down really easily. Mickey even getting a couple kills on that Diva with no ultimate needed.
I mean, he just found the supports. Now Mickey's going to be sitting there with his self-destruct on the point, so very nicely done by EnVy. They reacted well, split apart when they saw the nano boost coming in.
Yeah.
And now, again, the nano has not been used for the Dragon Blade. In my mind, so far in this finals, as we see a little bit of duel going on.
Operation get Arhan, but they don't. He pulls out the Dragon Blade. He wants the kills now, trying to find Chips. Chips does go down. This could be it. Coco taking a lot of damage. Jin gets 1 kill as well. Recry picks one up. And Arhan, there's the Diva ultimate. They need to get back on the point again. Zoning from Adam. Harry Hook filling that monkey full of bullets. So, oh, goodbye, Soldier 76. And Recry on the point. Looks like Afreeca Blue will finally take point A.
Yeah, but they're not going to have much to use to try and snowball this into a 2-point take, Doa. They've got a sound barrier, but only really a zoning tool with the high noon. EnVy doesn't have any ultimates available, but they only have to delay for about 20, 30 more seconds, and they're going to have a whole host of them to utilize here in the defense.
Yeah. Don't say host, man. I've been watching Westworld lately and it still makes me uncomfortable. I get the heebie-jeebies.
Really? I'd love to go to Westworld. That'd be super fun.
It'd
be super fun.
Here comes Recry again. Goes in that flashbang, doesn't really find anybody with it. There's some damage onto Coco, saving that Deadeye. They've got to use that zoning tool effectively. Just whittling away at the Reinhardt shield for the moment. The shield is dropped. And will EnVyUs survive this push? It's looking pretty good so far, as Mickey does get the kill into Adam, so they are less 1 tank. Harry Hook backing away, very, very low. Whoa, he dodges the shots, takes down Recry. Harry Hook just amazing on this Soldier 76.
And Afreeca Blue was indecisive in their approach. This is where they've typically fallen apart. When they have to move and attack an objective, they have been weak. And Dayfly just now has the nano boost. Arhan working up to that nano, or the Dragon Blade, but that's been their most successful form of attack so far, Doa, yet they keep Dayfly keeps throwing it away on rather odd targets.
Yeah.
And EnVy looking strong here. Have the nano boost, have the tack visor. Arhan going to be a sneaky, sneaky ninja.
Yeah, Chip's getting very, very low. There's a nano boost onto Adam immediately. And Chipsian, he's got that sound barrier. Doesn't help him survive too long. Now Internet Hulk going to be the next target. Arhan gets full supports, backs away. Kills coming in, though, from Afreeca Blue as well. And so EnVyUs may have enough to defend here. It looks like they do. So, again, another ult combo from Arhan. He gets 2 kills, but the rest of his team can't quite capitalize on what Arhan's doing.
No, they can't. And part of that is Mickey just playing a great defense here. Every time he sees Arhan or hears the Dragon Blade come in, all he does is jump on top of Dayfly and Yes Man and eliminate them, push them out of the combat. So they're trading supports, but the cost is Mickey doesn't even use the ult, and Afreeca has to use Dragon Blade.
Yep.
So it's really not working out very well for them.
Well, Jin tries to find a spot for that Graviton Surge, catches Internet Hulk with it. They're going to get a little bit of time on the point, but not a whole lot. Mickey just disrupting, and there's the Diva ultimate. They got to back away. No kills. Jin manages to survive it, rather, with that shield. Harry Hook a little bit low. He's going to get pounded to death by the giant gorilla. And Taimu gets the ult up right as he dies. And actually, Afreeca Blue, they're putting together a pretty good push here, but they've got to survive the respawns. There's a Deadeye. Gets the kill into Chipsian.
That's actually
Gets
huge.
the kill into Internet Hulk. Full support's down. This could be it. Coco taken out. There goes Harry Hook. And they may be able to actually claim the point here. Mickey doing whatever he can to keep this alive, and there's the whole hog now for Taimu coming up just in time. Had it right before he died, got back just in time. The control meter 2/3 of the way up there, almost up all the way. Afreeca Blue nearly has the second point. They've almost got it. They just need to get rid of Coco. He's staying alive somehow in that Reinhardt, but no, that's it. And Afreeca Blue barely manages to grab 2 points on Volskaya.
And 220. Now, here's been the strength of Afreeca over the course of Apex. When they're all together, their team fighting is very good. The problem is that they don't coordinate their advances very well, but that's why they've been successful on Control. That's why they've had some level of success on Hybrid and Assault maps. So we see there very good communication around their ult usage. Great drop back. Recry makes a couple of big McCree plays, drops back, goes ahead, pulls the Deadeye, zones them off the point, gets another kill onto Chips, and then they're able to take that one-man, two-man, three-man advantage and just snowball it out on that point. So they end up with a pretty decent time. Like 220, not great, but not terrible either. Certainly enough to try and take another point here should EnVy push all the way through. And now Afreeca on defense. Now this is typically where they're more comfortable, so we'll see if they can control this point A. And Afreeca in particular has had some very good Volskaya B-side defenses. They're good at playing the high ground, spreading out, making it difficult for people to attack. Arhan going to be back on the Genji again.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Lately, Afreeca Blue has been the strongest on defense, and where their defense has been the strongest has been on maps like this. So they've really put themselves in a position to take Volskaya Industries, get themselves a little momentum going in the series, and now it's on EnVyUs to come from behind on a map for the first time here today.
I like the fact that Recry is using McCree here. Now, typically you'd see McCree more against dive compositions, but the thing is when you're running Genji McCree, those are, if you were running, let's say, Genji Soldier, those are both good nano boost targets, and you don't necessarily want to split up like that. Meanwhile, the McCree, he can just throw his ult out there for a zoning tool, force people to back off of a point, so it's less dependent on using the nano boost in conjunction with it. So I just hope that they stick more to Arhan, or perhaps even Jin using that nano boost a little bit more, because Arhan, I think, could have gotten more work done on some of these skirmishes had he been the recipient of the nano boost instead.
Seems that way. Mickey going right in. Man, they are diving this one fast. They're just going to run right into the point. They know the defense is going to be on the upper right, as it normally is from the offensive perspective. Mickey just trying to disrupt people on top. They've split up. Afreeca Blue just a bit. Most of them have migrated over to the left side now.
Fall into the point early.
Yep, EnVyUs.
Afreeca, they're just going to spam down the Reinhardt shield.
Yeah, they will. Chipsign keeping everybody healed for the moment. Arhan getting in the faces of EnVyUs. Trying to out. Nice hook from Taimu. Taking out that Genji. That's a good start. Afreeca Blue going to jump down the point. EnVyUs will jump down themselves as well. Ariel gets the kill onto Jin. That's big. And this is looking like a great push for EnVyUs so far.
And he got the Reinhardt shield down first, so they were able to burst it from over the point. And now this is going to have to be a pretty epic hold. We're looking at nearly 7 minutes, maybe, about 6:55. Probably when this goes through, so it's a long time to deal with for Afreeca Blue, and they're not going to switch anything up. Arhan getting picked off immediately, huge right there, was trying to be coy, play around the side, try and get some damage down and disrupt that. That's a great hook!
Taimu gets a lot of damage done onto Reinhardt, but not able to get a lot after that. Harry hook is taken out. Yeah, you got to worry so much about Taimu's hooks, but for now, Afreeca Blue holds.
Yeah, they switch.
Oh, Chip's in trouble. Jin gets the kill on that Roadhog.
Arhan going over to the Mei now. So it has been Recry typically on the Mei, but with Recry still having the high noon available and being so successful on that McCree on their attack, I guess they're a little bit more comfortable having him. Now he is typically the McCree player and the Mei player on this team.
We've seen Arhan play Mei in the past. It has not been as good as Recry's, but he's certainly able to do it. Arhan just has a massive hero pool and can play pretty much everything well, you know?
Attack visor, nano boost up here for EnVy.
That's right, working on that Reinhardt shield again. Adam losing a lot of that. Puts it back up. That shield already in some trouble. And Afreeca Blue having to defend. They're jumping down now. Coco goes in. There's a Maywall trying to split him up. Recry with the nano boost. Gets hit with the sleep dart. Nice sleep dart from Chipsign. And Afreeca Blue trying to strike back. They've got the sound barrier. Mickey with the self-destruct. No kills there. Jin misses a hook. Harry hook backed off. Pushed out by the whole hog. And Blue looks like they will hold point B again.
Yeah, they will. Arhan still looks like working his... Oh, no, he did use the Blizzard. Gets a lot of ult charge there by picking off Taimu. Nice split spawn on the backside, but Afreeca has to dump everything. Because we saw the hook miss from Jin, he was forced to use the whole hog just to deal with the nano boosted soldier.
Yeah.
And now Taimu and Internet Hulk, ults available. Could be a strong push here from EnVy. And it doesn't really matter if it is or not because it's still at 5 minutes.
Well, I mean, 5 minutes, but, you know, that's another nearly 2 minutes gone already. So EnVyUs can't have too many more pushes go this way. Harry hook just on that flanking position, trying to do the damage again to Arhan. Meanwhile, EnVyUs sneaks around the side here. Taimu makes his presence felt.
I'm so impressed by Chips. Another amazing sleep dart onto the electric cowboy combo.
Yeah.
Really good stuff.
Taimu's got the whole hog. going in. The shield very, very low for Reinhardt. Goes for the hook, doesn't land it. Fire Strike comes through. Meanwhile, Mickey disrupting Recry as he goes in for the Deadeye again. No kills on that one. The mech does go down. Mickey taken out. Recry has to back away. Gets out of the way of that whole hog. Taimu trying to blast his way through the Mei wall. Harry Hook, meanwhile, gets a kill onto Adam. So EnVyUs may be able to get some time going on the control meter here. Harry Hook with 3, not even with that tac visor. Man, that's not Soldier 76. We got to rename him to Soldier number 1.
And Internet Hulk still has a sound barrier, though. He didn't even have to pop in that fight. Again, it's like Afreeca doesn't understand the losing battle that they're fighting with Reinhardt shields.
Here we go, tac visor with that nano boost. Yes man taken out. Immediately Blizzard dropped, but it's not over the whole point. Taimu and some other members still safe. Harry Hook comes back in, and they are decimating Afreeca Blue. Much better time, 3:37 remaining for EnVyUs after that 2-point push.
Yeah, absolutely. Great time for them. We'll see if they can push through to point B again. Harry Hook doing so much work. And one thing that I will say about Internet Hulk, ever since his swap over to Lucio, he has been so patient with his sound barriers.
Yeah.
He knows seemingly exactly the right time to use them nearly every time. And I think his Lucio play has gone a little bit underappreciated by people. He's been absolutely excellent on the hero, and you see it again there, just making sure that they have the ult bank to power through and cap that point. But as I was saying, the Reinhardt, I mean, it's like Afreeca Blue doesn't get that their Reinhardt shield is going to go down faster when there's a Roadhog and a Soldier focusing it, right?
Yeah.
So they keep trying to take, in every map so far, they've tried to take these Reinhardt versus Reinhardt battles, and they lose every time. Shield shatters, Taimu hits a hook, or they just get rushed, and Afreeca hasn't really had an answer to that.
Well, it has been interesting to see. Man, EnVyUs pushing through that so quickly. And now Afreeca Blue. They need to see if they can repeat their earlier performance. They've got some time to do it. 2:20 on the clock is not too bad. And even taking 1 point here is significant because we are into time bank mode now.
Yeah, I like the fact, finally Afreeca, it took them a while to get back to this style, going for the dive compositions once again. Gonna have Recry on that. McCree was successful once they finally swapped over to it. Adam will get a nice heal there, and Dayfly gets a nice early lead on a nano boost advantage. Arhan going to be flanking up on the high ground. Everybody else staying low. Look at this, Mickey on top of him again, though.
Well, it's like Mickey said, he wanted to just get on the DPS and try to prevent them from doing their thing, and that's exactly what he's been doing on the Diva. Arhan, meanwhile, into the back lines now, going after Taimu. That's right, doesn't get hooked, manages to reflect it, backs away. He's so confident in being able to reflect those hooks and not get caught, and they do get the kill onto Taimu. Strong push for Afreeca Blue already. Mickey popped out of the suit right now. And EnVyUs responding with some kills here.
Yeah, and look at this. I mean, Mickey going after the... Actually gets Yes Man. Huge kill. Now, the point is ticking up. Arhan and Jin still going to be there, but he is going to resuit in time.
I think he's going down there right away, man. Yeah, he's got to stop that. The control meter up to about halfway here, a little over. He's got to try to stay alive for as long as possible now. Pushing back the rest of Afreeca Blue. They're going to vacate the point for the moment. As Harry Hook did swap over to Tracer just to get back a little bit quicker. Arhan has the Dragon Blade going after Chip's Eye, and who was jumping off anyway. And he will go down. Arhan can't find any more kills with it, but losing that honor really does hurt him. Nice hook. Gets to reflect up just in time. Somehow Taimu doesn't get the kill. Meanwhile, Recry with the Deadeye takes down Harry Hook. That's a problem. Doesn't hit the flashbang over the shield. Still goes after Internet Hulk here. There's a kill. And Recry's Hanzo, man, has been so good. Sound barrier now. And Afreeca Blue on their way to maybe taking a quick point A here.
Well, Dolan, but they bought so much time because they died on the backside of that fight. They're going to have to assault super fast on a point B. They've got one push.
They got to go right now.
They have nano boost, though.
Yep,
so.
and they do get 30 seconds more in assault, of course, in the time bank mode to complete it. So they got about a minute. But yeah, they need to make this one work. Mickey has that Diva ultimate. He can buy some time.
Harry on the Mei now, so trying to drag this out until he can get the Blizzard.
Jin's got Graviton Surge right about now. So if they compare that with Arhan, he's real close to Dragon Blade, going the back lines. When's he going to drop it? Looking for it. There's a sound barrier, and we're waiting for it. Arhan pulls out the Dragon Blade. He's got to make it work. Big explosion for Mickey. Doesn't find anybody. They do push Afreeca Blue off the point for the moment. Taimu at half health. Needs to be so careful here. Coco flailing away at Adam, who hops out there. There goes Recry. and EnVyUs may be able to defend here. They're on the point. Coco very low, out of full health yet, but he's kind of on his own. The rest of the team can't quite get on the point. Dayfly on the point by himself. Timer with another hook, putting that nano boost to good use. And it looks like EnVyUs will be able to hold here. There's overtime, and Afreeca Blue can't get back in time. That's 1 point for them.
Wow, okay, so we are going to end at 3 points for Afreeca. So I think right now Envy has a pretty good expectation of being able to take point A. So likely this map is going to go into one of those random Ilios points for sudden death after a draw. Now, typically we would have said that's a great scenario for Afreeca, who has been dominant on control, but after losing that 0-2 on their first control map on Nepal, maybe not any longer. That looks like it may be a lot more winnable now for Envy.
Yeah. Well, they were able to get those 2 points pretty quick on their first offensive round here on Volskaya Industries. And if they can get 2 points again, they're going to just end the map right here. Otherwise, we will go to that tiebreaker. Let's take a look at that final fight one more time here.
Again, great sound barrier. Waited till they were all baited in. And even though there was a nano boosted Genji, there was no work to be done. It was a little bit early. So the nano boost the sound barrier overshield was still there. They tried to drop that Graviton surge late in that fight, but not enough AoE to actually make the best use of it. Great positioning by Envy.
All right, well, party time.
Is that what happens when Bastion freaks out?
That's what happens when the Bastion freaks out
All
pretty
right,
much.
all
I
right,
mean,
fair enough.
I don't know. That's about it. So happens when one of the feathers from Archimedes gets into the circuitry there.
It's Ganymede.
Ganymede? Oh, you're my bad. Random Greek name. So I just throw those out there sometimes.
Yeah, Greek scientist, Greek child god, same thing.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, here comes Timu. Here comes EnVyUs. Trying to win Volskaya Industries. Diva versus Diva as Mickey backs away. They're going to take the high ground, as we see most teams do. Recry very low. Not able to heal for a long time because that biotic grenade can finally get it up now. Timu with the hook. Oh, and a big push already from EnVyUs. They've got 3 kills, and now there goes Yes Man. More like no man, you're not defending point A. EnVyUs is going to take this one fast.
Absolutely. Afreeca looking at a long hold now. No ultimates for anybody because that was so quick, but thanks to Timu, again, landing those hooks. And one thing that we should mention about Timu, sometimes he was getting in front of the Reinhardt shield in previous games. This time, Timu is playing further back. He hasn't had any silly deaths where he walks forward, tries to get, those style hooks on people, and gets hooked in response, which was a problem when he played against Kongdu Uncia. Much more reserved, intelligent Roadhog play so far in this series.
EnVyUs as a team is looking really tight right now. Oh, he gets a snipe on a Recry. That right click, man. Got him with the Helix Rockets. It certainly is. They're going to go in 6v5 for the moment. Harry Hook trying to do work again on the Soldier 76. Big biotic grenade. Gets the nano boost. He's nearly got that tac visor too. Aron having to run for his life. And now getting to the back lines. Oh, Recry barely escapes. There's a hook, though. Dayfly taken out by Timu. Harry Hook, though, does not survive very long, but look at the control meter. They nearly got it! EnVyUs gets 2 points. Afreeca Blue could not get back there. A 3-0 lead in this grand finals now for EnVyUs.
Wow, huge plays. Now, also Mickey, both on the defense and on the offense of that point, on point B. On the defense, had a really clutch self-destruct right on the kind of nodule in the middle. Nodule, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
Pillar.
Sure.
In the middle of the point in order to push everybody out right as the round was expiring. That time, he has his ultimate up, gets it up, and you know what he does is he just jams it in that doorway where Recry is on the high ground, so Recry cannot drop down onto the point to contest for overtime. Yeah. Really great situational awareness by Mickey. There's Timu giving you the finger hearts.
That's right. Who doesn't want to get finger hearts from Timu?
A great question. I know I always enjoy it. So
me too. That was directed at us, He specifically meant that for us personally.
Well, this is desperate for Afreeca.
Sure is.
I think they've run through all their best maps right now. We're going to be heading on to another escort / hybrid map. It will be an escort map, actually.
Yeah, well, we talked about this. If they didn't win the control map, the very first map, there was a good chance that this would end up in a 4-0. And sad to say for Afreeca Blue, it's really looking like that's going to be the result here, unless they can really turn things around on map 4.
I think Afreeca is going to pick Route 66 because we saw NB struggle and lose to Kongnu on it. So
I think you're right. I think that's the most likely scenario. But Mickey and the rest of EnVyUs looking like they might just cruise their way to a 4-0 finals here. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, maybe the last map of the tournament, so don't go anywhere. Apex right back after this.
Coming up next, Afreeca Freecs Blue, EnVyUs.
사랑하는 파리하. 어머니란 딸이 더 나은 삶을 살길 바라지. 그걸 위해 싸울 수도 죽을 수도 있어. 난 너에게 사랑하는 이들을 지키는 게 가장 중요하다고 가르쳤지. 넌 영웅들 사이에서 눈부신 모험담을 가슴에 품으며 자랐어. 어느 날 넌 그들처럼 되고 싶다고 했지. 난 네가 다른 삶을 살길 바랐는데 너에겐 말 못했지만 사람을 지키려고 사람을 죽이는 건 가혹한 일이란다. 하지만 난 언제나 내 임무를 다했지. 그러던 어느 날 죽여야 할 사람을 죽이지 못했다. 난 망설였고 모든 게 바뀌었지. 내가 지켜야 했던 사람들이 목숨을 잃었어. 난 그냥 남겨졌다. 중상을 입은 채로. 세상은 내가 죽은 줄 알았어. 차라리 잘 됐다 싶더구나. 난 너무 많은 걸 잃었으니까. 난 수많은 친구들과 연락을 끊고 가장 가까웠던 이들을 마음에 묻었어. 많은 걸 잃었지만 난 알아. 아직 내가 지켜야 할 사람들이 있다는 걸. 난 싸움을 멈출 수 없어. 아직은 날 기다리는 사람들이 있는 한. 언젠간 네가 이해해 주길. 너의 어머니 아나.
선수는 그냥 탄생하지 않습니다. 코어로부터 만들어지는 것이죠. 강력한 코어, 집중력을 가진 코어, 불가능을 가능으로 만드는 코어, 무엇이든 해내고 마는 코어, 차이를 만들고 승리를 가져다주며 세상을 놀라게 하는 코어. 노력은 선수를 만들고 코어 i7 프로세서는 멈추지 않는 파워를 드립니다. 강력한 코어로 더 강력하게.
노력은 선수를 만들고 코어 i7 프로세서는 멈추지 않는 파워를 드립니다. 강력한 코어로 더 강력하게.
도와주세요. 식비가 너무 많이 나와요. 아시잖아요. 애들 아무나 안 먹는 거.
치킨. 무조건 치킨.
기본 1인 1닭. 이긴 날엔 2닭씩. 절이라고 하고 싶어요. 그 두 마리씩 주는 치킨. 제발 도와주세요.
그럼 저희가
저희의 팀명은 0.4톤이고 그 이유는 아실 거라고 생각합니다. 원래 방심은 하면 안 돼서 가장 최적의 로스터로 짰습니다. 저희는 다 먹으려고 존재하기 때문에 이기면 일단 양보할 생각 절대 없고요. 저희 4명이서 10마리 다 해결하겠습니다.
아프리카 멸치스의 팀장을 맡고 있는 아담이라고 합니다. 어거지로 팀이 거의 맞춰졌거든요. 말도 하기 전에 다 모여가지고 이길 수 있다는 걸 보여드리겠습니다.
목소리가 떨리는데? 참고로 얘랑 저랑 띠동갑이
13살 차이.
아, 살살 해라.
너무 무거워 한 방.
들어. 다리 들어.
고!
가자.
약한 부분을 공략해요.
야, 백혀!
너무 무거워요, 한 방 한 방이 저기. 이건 진짜 폭행이에요, 저희한테는. 아, 조심해요.
너무 쉽잖아요. 아, 내 이기고 있게.
힘내요, 형. 이길 수 있다. 졌어.
나 죽는다.
준이 형, 화이팅! 자, 벤투!
뭐하냐, 졌어.
야, 몸좀 박치기 해. 빨리. 어차피 이기고 하란 돼.
형 원래 2킬 하면 루시움 죽어야 돼요.
볼륨 오케이? 준비하시고.
빠세! 발 모여야 되는데? 최대야!
일단 1인 2dak을 하게 돼서 너무 행복하고요. 아무도 안 줄 거거든요.
이럴 수가.
저희 4명이서 다 먹도록 하겠습니다.
And welcome back to the Intel Overwatch Apex Season 1 Grand Finals. Afreeca Freecs Blue on your screen right now find themselves down 0-3 in this best of 7, and that means that EnVyUs on your screen right now only needs to win this last map to win this tournament 4-0.
I mean, they're a match point for the next 4 games, and
Yeah.
that's a really scary place to be because the reverse sweep is necessary. And not only that, but we have to mention that one of the maps in this pool is Eichenwalde, which is a map that Envy has looked unstoppable on. So you better believe the first chance that they get to pick that, it's going to be their selection. And now we're heading into whether it's going to be Watchpoint Gibraltar or Route 66. I anticipate the Route 66 pickup here.
We will see. For set number 4, our escort map will be
Gibraltar.
Okay, so Afreeca Freecs Blue going with Watchpoint Gibraltar for what could be the last map in this Grand Finals.
And why I'm surprised about that is because Envy looked sloppy on Route 66 in the semifinals, and it was one of the maps that they lost, and I think that could have been a major game changer here for Afreeca. But I thought they'd pick Anubis too, so it's a bit of a surprise, their last couple of selections. And Envy looking to beat Afreeca on 3 of their selected maps. That is a brutal beatdown by any standard.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of like what we were talking about already. It's looking so far, and continuously like Envy is just simply outclasses Afreeca Blue in every way.
Yeah, like I said, coming in, if Envy wins Control, there's a real chance at a 4-0 for Envy. And we are certainly looking like we're heading in that direction.
That's right. Well, it all comes down to this. Afreeca Blue, if they want to stay alive in this Grand Finals, they need to win this next map, Watchpoint Gibraltar. And EnVyUs, this could be the tournament for them right here, right now. Making it through a tough time before coming here. Roster changes, but here they are on match point in the Grand Finals. Let's go to Watchpoint Gibraltar and see who takes it.
hands up to the speakers. You are here to entertain us.
And welcome to Watch Point Gibraltar, where this tournament could end. Afreeca Freecs Blue need to win this map to stay alive. EnVyUs could win the first season of Apex here if they can take it.
Well, what's so amazing about EnVyUs is not only the meta just rolling right into their favor and having a substitute that fit right in off the bat, but remember the history of this team. At the beginning of Overwatch, in online events, they were unbeatable. 57 consecutive match wins in online events, but they never were really able to replicate that kind of dominance in an offline setting. And now this may be the time that they really start to go online. Having Mickey swap into this team, maybe these role swaps have really worked for them, moving Harry Hook over, at least in this meta. It's hard to argue with their skill as long as they don't need a projectile DPS player. This is going to be a very strong team.
It still blows my mind just how well these roster swaps have worked out for them, and we'll see if it continues to work as Afreeca Blue starts out the offense here. Taimu waiting for the early hook, misses Arhan rather. He's totally ready for that.
Yeah, he's going to go back through server. I mean, that's like an optimistic hook. And to be fair, that's actually a smart play because Arhan has actually, on some of these maps, been getting ahead of the rest of his team on the Genji. We saw that when they tried to attack Numbani in the semifinals, where he was getting picked off by hooks. And Afreeca have been vulnerable to early picks. And trying to take the high ground right now as payload goes through car wash.
Yeah, you normally see, whoa, he somehow got the hook on a Dayfly. How in the world? Hashtag just Roadhog things.
That's a huge pick right off the back, Doa.
Yes,
really
it is.
excellent work. We saw the shield drop just a little bit early. Wasn't covering Dayfly as he walked through the doorway, so a bit of a mistake there from Adam, and now Mickey just mopping people up on the high ground.
Yeah, well, you get the pick on the Ana like that, and that's just hitting the go button for EnVyUs to just jump in there and finish off the team, make this a complete hold in the first push by Afreeca Freecs Blue.
And the problem, though, is that Afreeca really doesn't have a whole lot of high ground control here. When they're running just the Genji, no Winston, no protection from the Zarya either. I mean, it's just got nothing. It's a very slow composition, has to methodically set up here and go through server. They're going to try it again. The shield stayed up longer that time, as you can see.
Yeah, sure did. They do make it through server. They're going to try to take the high ground and just push Chips and Soldier 76 off of this. It looks like they will. They have to get back to the payload, though. That's kind of the tricky part, is that the payload's way down there, guys. And they just want to win a fight against EnVyUs and then try to run down there. Arhan, known for stealth pushing the payload on this map, though, so EnVyUs does need to be aware of that. But now the payload finally moving.
Yeah, Internet Hulk is on the Winston, too, so they are going to be running a single support. Now, ever since he swapped over to Lucio, he has only played Lucio and Winston. So we have seen this occasionally from Envy.
Oh, there's a hook. Jin brings in Coco. Meanwhile, Recry taking a nap with the Deadeye up. Arhan has to back away. Internet Hulk very scary on this Winston now, and he's going to get taken down.
And there's no protection. The Winston is a wonderful pickup here for Envy because he can just sit on top of the Genji. And there's no Zarya shield. There's no dive buddy for him. So it's very easy for Internet Hulk just to abuse this. And Envy, I mean, you got 4 ults up right now. 5 now. Taimu hits 100% on the Roadhog. Nobody's had to use anything yet. Dayfly still working on that nano boost. And we'll see Arhan doing his sneaky ninja tricks.
Yeah, he's pushing the payload. And we've seen EnVyUs run this single healer defense on Gibraltar before. It worked out very well for them in the past. They did full hold with it. And a full hold here would be massive. They've got all 6 ults and only 1 minute remaining for Afreeca Blue. This is going to be an apocalyptic fight coming up. Here we go. Recry pops that Deadeye. Trying to find a kill. Doesn't really look like he's going to get an opportunity, though, to get one. No, he doesn't. So they've got to jump down and fight. Meanwhile, Arhan, half health, running back up to the high ground now. Going back to the payload, and Internet Hulk jumping up, wants to dislodge Afreeca Blue from the high ground. Has to retreat. Kills coming in, though. Dayfly and Recry going down, and only 45 seconds remaining on offense. Adam taken out, and it is going to be nearly impossible for Afreeca Blue to push this through point 1 now.
I mean, they killed Dayfly when he still had the nano boost up. Absolutely huge. They couldn't dump the ults fast enough. And because Afreeca Blue, they've been so methodical, this composition takes a lot of time to set up. They have to go to the high ground, then they have to loop through server, then they have to loop all the way back around. around.
Here
and
we go.
Recry is this is desperation.
No kidding. Well, normally it's been Arhan on the Bastion when they pulled it out, but it's usually been on defense.
I mean,
Never a situation like this.
They have to have the Dragon Blade, and he's getting pushed off now by Hulk.
Well, Hulk on this Winston, I mean, going back to his favorite here, and it's working wonders. There goes the sound barrier. Afreeca Blue, they need to do this right now. Their tournament is basically on the line. Mickey coming in with the explosion, and he doesn't get any, but it's enough. And EnVyUs doesn't even let Afreeca Blue get back to the payload. That's a full hold on Gibraltar, and that is basically this tournament handed to EnVyUs on a silver platter.
I mean, if they mess this up, Noah, it is going to be extraordinary. It has to be a hugely epic hold here. Great read, you have to say, coming in with a single support and Internet Hulk on the Winston. Because if we look at what happened, okay, so Mickey just sits on the McCree. All right, that problem solved with the Diva. And then Internet Hulk just chases the Genji around. And what are you going to do? Arhan never had an opportunity to really even use his Dragon Blade at the end of that fight. And sure, they bring in the Bastion, but it was still a nice Earth Shatter that came through from Coco. And enough to mop it up because the positioning on the high ground from Envy was so good. They were split up. The Bastion really couldn't get much of anything going.
I'm so surprised that they picked Watchpoint Gibraltar, knowing that EnVyUs had this ability to play this kind of unique defensive composition that they've used before in this tournament.
I'm confused by Volskaya and I'm confused by Watchpoint Gibraltar. Both of those picks, I think, have not been good for Afreeca Blue.
And we did see a little bit of this in their semifinal match. We saw some weird comps coming out. We saw Recry, trying to play some stuff that he's not, been as well known for, like the Tracer and things like that against BK Stars. But, I didn't expect to see that much of it in the grand finals. And yeah, EnVyUs. I mean, you can see the yellow box on your screen on the ground there. I mean, that's all the farther that payload needs to go.
I mean, it's barely through car wash. I like the fact that Arhan and Recry are onto the Soldier. Soldier's so good at this point, standing on the high ground. And May, I think, has been one of Afreeca Blue's more successful heroes, not only in this series, but over the course of Apex.
Yep, that's right. We know Jin's been great on that Roadhog as well in recent times. And, when you have Recry on the May, you have to put Arhan on that Soldier 76.
So, based on the composition, again, Envy just going with the same comp. It's another comp that is going to have to take a slow push onto the high ground. It does waste a lot of time.
All right, hook on the Mickey right away, but he's going to back away without taking too much damage. He's certainly ready for Jin to be there. Going to do a little bit of damage himself, too. Dodges the second hook. And Taimu now walking forward, trying to get those early picks.
Ooh, Dayfly.
So close. Yeah, Dayfly, we talked about possibly being a little bit of a liability for Afreeca Blue. It hasn't been as bad as we've seen it in the past, but it's been caught a couple times today.
Sneaky is coming through.
Sneakiest Roadhog, man. Oh, there's a hook!
Huge!
Oh, he takes out Arhan, and no Soldier 76 means this is over, man. Jin taking down kills, and that is the tournament. EnVyUs should have no trouble at all pushing the payload. Man, the picks into the team fight win, and that is it. EnVyUs will win Intel Overwatch Apex Season 1 with a 4-0 victory. GG.
Wow, huge win from EnVyUs. Look at these guys coming through this tournament. Everybody thought it was over when Tailspin left.
Yeah.
That was going to be it. Mickey comes in as an emergency substitute onto this team, and he helps the team go all the way to a clean sweep of a Korean Grand Final.
Well, I mean, what can you say? The addition of Mickey, the roster swaps, the position swaps,